Party, and it looks good. Way to go. So thank you, Massachusetts Democrats. I have to say, I haven't seen a crowd like this since Women's March. Wait, maybe it was the Science March. Or the March Against the Muslim Ban. You know, we have had marches and rallies. All I know is Massachusetts is in the fight all the way. That's what it is good to be back in Worcester, the hometown of my guys, Joe Petty and Jim McGovern. Fabulous. The last time that our state party met in Worcester, Deval Patrick was governor, Barack Obama was president, Donald Trump was a rich and powerful guy peddling conspiracy theories on the internet.
Thanks, Barbara.
One of those is still true. Well, Donald Trump may be in the White House and the Republicans may control Congress, but Massachusetts Democrats, we persist. That the Massachusetts team in Washington is working hard for our Commonwealth, and we've actually seen some real progress. We have fought for and won federal funding so that firefighters in North Adams and Springfield and Mashpee and towns all across the Commonwealth get the equipment they need to keep us safe. We have fought for and won more money to combat the opioid epidemic. We have fought for and won more funding for the National Institutes of Health, which last year, you bet, awarded $2.5 billion in research funding here in Massachusetts, and it went in every part of our state. That is some good news. It's some good news in a sea of bad news. I know it has been a long, tough year for Massachusetts Democrats and for Democrats all across the country. And I know many people are tired. I know many people are angry. I know that you have spent more money on poster board in the last 4 months than our entire lives before that. I don't think any of us expected 2017 to turn out the way it did. The world looks very different from how it looked a few years ago or even 134 days ago. Donald Trump has appointed a cabinet of billionaires and bankers to run our economy to suit themselves. He has signed off on letting states withhold health care funding from clinics that provide abortion and letting insurance companies deny coverage for birth control. He has signed an unconstitutional Muslim ban, had it struck down, signed another one, had it struck down again, and now he's headed off to the United States Supreme Court to try to defend an unconstitutional Muslim ban. He's embraced tax breaks for the super rich, funding them by ripping away health care from 23 million Americans. He supports a tax break for millionaires and billionaires that will cut veterans' health care. He's opened the door to knocking out health care coverage for people with pre-existing conditions, people with mental health problems, people with addiction issues. You know, and all this is from a man who claimed that he would be out there for working people. I get the feeling that the only way that Donald Trump would listen to working people in Lowell or Lawrence or Worcester would be if they called the White House about building a new Trump golf course. And then there's Donald Trump's budget. Have you seen this thing? The press has the general outline, but when we get together here, we have to talk about how it affects Massachusetts directly, what it means to our families, to our friends, to our neighbors. Trump's budget would slash its way through Massachusetts. Cuts to Social Security disability insurance could affect more than 200,000 disabled workers right here in Massachusetts. Cuts to food stamps would put more than $1 billion at risk for families right here in Massachusetts. Cuts to Medicaid would put at risk more than 1.8 million low-income children, seniors, adults, people with disabilities right here in Massachusetts. Cuts to education would hit every elementary school, every junior high, every high school, and every college right here in Massachusetts. The funding to help people pay their energy bills, LIHEAP, for almost 165,000 Massachusetts families, zeroed out. Flood map zoning, zeroed out. Tiger grants that have gone to help us repair bridges in Lowell and Haverhill, gone. Donald Trump's budget director says, and I want to quote here, they are not going to kick any deserving person off any meaningful program. Think about that. Trump says he's not going to kick any deserving person off any meaningful program. Let me translate that for those of you who don't speak Donald. It means no billionaires will lose their tax loopholes. Budgets are about numbers, but more importantly, budgets are about values. Budgets are about investing in what's important to us. Our kids, our seniors, our veterans, the poor, the sick, working families. A budget is a statement about who we are and what kind of a country we are going to build. A budget is a moral statement, and Donald Trump's budget is immoral. Plug our ears and pretend that everything will be okay because we live here in Massachusetts. We cannot escape the pain that the Trump administration wants to inflict on working people all across this country. And we cannot stay quiet while Trump tears apart every good thing this country and this Commonwealth stands for. We must fight back, and that's why I wanted to be here today with you. Your energy, but I want to speak for just a minute to all the people who are not in this room today. For anyone who is watching this at home today, or who sees a clip about it later, or who reads about it, whether you are a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent, whether you work in a school in Salem, or a dock in New Bedford, or a gas station in Holyoke, or a hospital in Brockton, or run a corporation in Boston, or hold a powerful elective office, silence is no longer an option. Hair splitting is no longer an option. Measures are no longer an option. The health, the safety, the national security of the people of Massachusetts and the United States of America are on the line. It is time for real courage in this country. We have a job to do, both here in Massachusetts and across the country. Instead of a Trump government that just works for those at the top, we need to make this a government that works for everyone. A government that builds opportunities, not just for those at the top, but builds opportunities for everyone. We need to say it, and we need to say it out loud. Opportunities expand when young people can go to school without getting crushed by student loan debt. And that means debt-free college, and we will fight for it. Opportunity expands when people who work full-time no longer live in poverty, and that means raising the minimum wage, and we will fight for it. Opportunities expand when workers bargain together through their unions. Unions built America's middle class, and unions will rebuild America's middle class. Opportunities expand when every child has a first first-rate education, and that means investing in our public schools all across this country. Opportunities expand when everyone knows that after a lifetime of hard work, people can retire with dignity, and that means expanding Social Security and protecting Medicare. Yes. And I still can't believe I have to say this in 2017, but opportunities expand when women are treated as full and equal citizens, equal pay and equal work, and they have decisions about their bodies. And opportunities expand when we condemn racism and bigotry and hate. And that means we don't tear families apart, and we don't just say Black Lives Matter, we fight for it.